Good morning, everyone. Say hello. Hi. How y'all doing? All right. Let's get started. Anyone looking at TIRX? We can have a gander at it for sure. Look at the markets real quick. SPY gap down just a little bit, right below 4010. Um, Sorry. What's up, Jeff? What's up, Steve? Looked like we had about 7 people in here. Um, Good morning, Justin. I feel almost 90% yesterday. Why? What happened? Uh, Good morning, Krista, excuse me. But yeah, SPY gap down this morning, right below 410, trading below the 15s. And when I say 15s, I'm referring to the EMAs. Good morning, Justin. How are you doing? Um, but it found support on the 55 EMA, excuse me. Bounced off of there since then. I want to see if it breaks down below the EMAs, and then you could potentially look at doing some potential uh, short-term puts on the retracement. I'm not sure if this is the pullback we've been waiting for in the SPY that we've been talking about for the past 2 weeks, ever since April 1st when we went over bought status on the 4 hour. We've stayed above those levels for the most part, um, and I have been very cautious in expecting to do any um, calls, or even for that matter buying anything um, in the markets right now because of that myself. I did buy some uh, calls on NUAN on the announcement from Microsoft all the way to May 21st. And I'll expect to hold those until we see it. I bought some 55 calls on it. So that's about the only thing I've bought. I'm not sure what you guys are holding. Looking at LYV. John, I see you. I know you've been pushing Live Nation for some time, and you said they got up this morning from what you were saying in the chat. Are there any other stocks anybody is looking at or wants to talk about? Let me know now, and we can look at them. We have until about 8 o'clock. I'll have every day until 8 o'clock to do our live stream with you, and then we'll jump onto um, our Discord call for about 30 minutes or so. Oh, man. Anyways, shooting people up here. Can I get my mouse back, baby? Thank you. Here, you want a mouse? Let's get your mouse. Excuse my office. It's covered with baby toys. Here you go. Here you go. Anyways, so let's have a look at what you guys want to look at. Inverted bull flag on IWM. We can look at that too. First, we had TIRX on the list. Dropped over almost 90%. Wow. I would look to see what's going on there. Let me check the news, see if there's anything on it. TIRX. Not really anything showing up. Yeah, there's no news and why, which is weird. Tie-in. This looks like an Asian company. It looks like it's done something like this before where it was halted, but they never released why. It's a large drop. Another company that fell was IRTC. It tumbled about 40%, settled at $80 after the company said it will not be able to provide its Zeo XT device to Medicare patients if reimbursement rates remain unchanged. Um, Another company, CAN, fell 29%, settled at 13.14 after Q4 results. Sales of 382 million, I'm guessing rupees, down from over 463 million year over year. Jeez. I was looking at CAN. I never invested in it though. And then another one fell 27%, GLSI, at $39. This was after the company jumped 6% on Friday after it reported robust immune response from its phase 2B data supporting the GP2 clinical outcome of 0% metastatic breast cancer recurrences over 5 years of follow-up. Alright, I'm not going to harp on too many of the companies that were down yesterday. Before hopping in this, I would look into some information on TRX and why it fell. Yeah, no news. I see that. That's weird. Typically, you would get some type of response. But definitely would look into why first. LYV is Live Nation Entertainment. They announced their first tour yesterday. And for the most part, excuse me. For the most part, we have been watching this for, I don't know, about 2 weeks, John, I think. And there's something that's standing out to me straight out the gate. Is a compression zone that it's been trading in somewhere around here. I'll pay attention to. Might come down and bounce up, so you might catch a quick gain on it. Then a rebound, bounce up, rebound, and then once it hits this compression zone about 1st of May, right before earnings should lead it out of this compression downward, and then it will sell off right at earnings, of course. Of course, that's depending on how it performs. Could do well on earnings and bounce back up, but most of the time, companies retrace on earnings. So another compression zone to pay attention to is right here. It could break out of this trend and keep pushing higher. So I know you've been favoring this company for some time, John. You might want to look into potential options on it going into May on some calls. Just make sure that it stays looking healthy. Looks like it's pulling back on the 4-hour though, so you might be able to catch some on the low end. It looks like it was trying to do an EMA breakdown. Went double red there for a minute. But it looks like it's bouncing off of this slight support that it found right here. And it looks like it's trying to keep support around 84.32. So maybe that can be a platform to use. But as you can see, it has bounced below that before, so be careful. And if it does, watch out for retracement to the 81.17 for your entry. So watch it going into today, see what it does. If it breaks down below that 84 or 83.91 to be precise, is where I would feel more comfortable. Then you can most likely expect it to come at least back down to 81.17, then potentially find some options on it there. But the 30-minute looks like it's almost trying to tell a different story. And I'm trying to see, yeah, it looks like a strong compression zone on the 10-minute, so it actually could, speak to my first scenario of bouncing out of this compression straight back up. So watch out for that. In VCR, this is Novacure Ltd. Wow. I want to see what this is about. For a stock to jump from $137 to $240, that and VCR. This comes after they received positive recommendation after trial for cancer treatment. They just posted results for their phase 3 pivotal trial of tumor treating fields in stage 4 non-small cell lung cancer following platinum failure. After a routine review, of the study by an independent data monitoring committee, or DMC, Novacure was informed that the pre-specified interim analysis for the trial would be accelerated given the length of and accrual and the number of events observed to date, the company said. This included 210 patients through February. After review of its interim analysis report, the DMC concluded that the trial should continue with no evidence of increased systemic toxicity, the company said. So it seems like they got kicked off of doing their phase 3 clinical trials, and then they had to basically be put in front of a committee to determine if it was safe to continue moving forward. It was found that it was, and now they're proceeding, is what I'm understanding from this. The primary endpoint of the trial is superior overall survival when patients are treated with TT fields plus immune checkpoint inhibitors, or I don't know how to say this, versus immune checkpoint inhibitors of Taxol alone. I don't know what that is or what it says. I'm not going to try to go any further than that, but yeah, that's crazy. Jump like that, and going into earnings right before May. You already know what I would think. Retracement. And that has a long range to come down. It's already coming down pre-market. But retracement would be, 50% retracement would be around 194. If it breaks down below that, then you can look at potential puts to consolidation. If it holds above that 50% retracement level of 194.28, then you can look at a continuation run to the top side. But pretty sure there's going to be some profit taken with this being this large. This is almost like watching GameStop. So, girl, you're going to break the mouse before you can use it again. You know that? Yeah? Here's your keyboard. Yeah, so she's learning how to type at, I don't know if you can see it, 8 months old. And she's gonna be running a show one day. So, all right. IWM, inverted bear flag. Girl, you're gonna break that thing. So based on what I'm looking at with the IWM, let's pull out of this. Let's get out of here. Find our levels. Now, going into last week, we found support right here on the 219.37, and it's built off of that. It looks like it tapped it again for the most part around those levels, and it could compress. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this for a quick second, just so you can kind of see what I'm looking at. Let me get the functions out of here as well, so we can just see this is what I'm looking at here, and what I would pay attention to, Jeff. But you had this compression zone that it should have broke out of, and it found resistance right above that trend, respected it, and pulled back. So what I would watch is to see if this may be the case here. Something like that, a secondary compression zone would pop up. CPI report today. Okay. Thank you. He said, you're a cutie. She knows it. Next on the list is ears. Currently trading at 409 pre-market. Looks like it tried to gap up a little bit from yesterday's close, if I'm reading that right. Or it actually pulled back after hours yesterday, gapped down and picked up and hit that resistance right before close yesterday. Looks like we're getting strong resistance around the 550s. I want to see where that's played a part before. Real quick. Yeah, 550 has been a strong level. I think I actually did. I'm not sure if I did a video on this. I would pay attention to this. And what this is a potentially showing you where we can retrace back to. Okay, so this could come all the way back to 312. As you can see, it bounced up yesterday to those 550s. It's already pulled back to 409. It looks like the close was actually 430 yesterday. So we're sitting right on top of that level. I'll definitely watch it from there to see how it opens today. It looks like that close was on April 9th of Friday. So it did bounce up about $1 yesterday, but has since retraced. And anytime it has hit these levels, it's most likely continue to gap down and continue pulling down. So let me see if they have any news on why they moved yesterday. I want to know. This was after the company announced. Actually, I had some news this morning. What are you doing, Puddin'? Okay. What time is it? 7:39. Have you had some breakfast?
No, sir.
You want to go ahead and get you some breakfast?
But did you see my hair? It's not that big.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and get you some breakfast, and make sure you have something to drink to take with you for school.
Okay. Yeah, because I've been forgetting for the past 2 days.
Yeah.
It's just the only thing that helps me that is breakfast and lunch.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they get like the and stupid.
Yeah. So, it looks like they just announced positive preclinical and clinical outcomes with AM301 and detailed plans for their market launch. So, being a pharma biotech type company, there are stages. Of course, there's development, there's clinical trials, phase 1, 2, or 3. There is a setup for pharma and biotech companies where where if they use pre-existing proven methods, that they can skip phase 1 and go to phase 2. Anyways, so it looks like we may be at positive preclinical and clinical outcomes. I'm trying to see what stage they're in. We are very pleased to report our major nasal spray, which is moving in large steps towards the start of commercialization. And then there's of course, approval, FDA approval, and once we get approval, then you have manufacturing, then you have distribution and sales, and then you have growth and maturity. So I'm trying to figure out what stage. Girl, who are you talking to like that? You dropped your mouse. Get it back. Let's get her back. There you go. Here. I would definitely try to figure out what stage they're in with this particular treatment. Now, this seems to be focused on seems to be aimed at the SARS-CoV-2 virus and using nasal sprays for a protective. Let me see. I'm still reading. It's been designed to provide a triple protective effect by acting as a protective layer on the nasal mucosa, trapping and helping to remove airborne particles and What? Okay, it's fine, baby. Sorry. Through humidification. So, fresh preclinical and clinical data confirm AM301's protective effects in case of exposure to airborne allergens and suggest potential utility of the product also in cases of ongoing infection of SARS-CoV-2. We have numerous additional studies ongoing and planned and look forward to sharing future outlooks. I don't know, I like it. I'm going to read more into this, Kristen, and probably do a video on it I want to dig more into their investor relations and see what their plans are moving forward, and we'll go from there. I got in at TIRX at 16. It's at 21. Huge potential swing. We can go back to it real quick. And it looks like it just dropped back to... Oh, this is on the daily. Okay, so it's pre-market. Got you. So you bought in at 16, you said? Nice. Probably around here. You bought it yesterday, I'm guessing. I don't know, man. I'd figure out what's going on with them. I mean, that's weird. I mean, they jumped. They dropped from 96 to, what was that, 12? Where'd they land? 12.20? They were at 96? Oh no, that's concerning. And then they didn't even release any news on why. That's just concerning. QQQ looks like it's coming out of compression on the upside in all time frames. If that occurs, then it can potentially pull. Yeah, man. All time high for the Q is like 340 something. Let me look. Get a precise number on it. I'll be out today somewhere. I got you. I mean, you already went in, and well, it looks like it was at what 18, or it closed at 18.80. It's $20 right now. All-time high on the Q is actually 338.19 from what I can see. Now, it probably is. It's not showing me any pre-market or after-hour data. Looking at it on the daily. Let me see if I can get on the 4-hour at least, because I'm gonna have to go back. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, that level still sticks. So we're just about, we're right above all-time highs now. So we just hit an all-time high on the Q. And it is now going back into overbought status, or trying to, at least for the third time, which I have not seen this happen 3 times.
What was that? What was that? Huh? What the hell was it? Yeah, don't tell me.
Huh? I have not seen the markets go into overbought status 3 times in a row within the same time frame, and this comes since the 1st of April. And I'd be careful here, because you know that's probably what's been holding up the SPY and pushing it higher, because a lot of the companies listed in the Q are also listed in the SPY, and some of them are listed in the Russell 1000 as well. But I don't know. It looks like it peaks out CPI 0.6. I don't even have my SPY news up right now. Yep. It looks like core CPI was higher than expected by 0.1%, but is up 2%, or 0.2% from last month. Core CPI year over year is up 0.1%, but up 0.3 from year over year. And then the US CPI, I was just talking about the USA core CPI. The USA CPI year over year was 2.6 versus 2.5 expectations, up 0.1% again, but prior was 0.7%. And then the monthly was up 0.6, like J-Dub just said, up 0.2 from last month. And if you're wondering what the CPI is, I want to say it's a consumer price index. It's the consumer price index, yes, for all urban consumers. All items less food and energy is an aggregate of prices paid by urban consumers for a typical basket of goods, including food and energy. The measurement known as core CPI is widely used by economists because food and energy have very volatile prices. Well, let me see. So it's basically a measure of the cost of living for the typical person. So as we see this increasing, that basically says that inflation is occurring. And we're actually up 0.9% already, month over month. They just brought out our street sweeper. I've been waiting on that thing for months. See, we have a bunch of people in here this morning. Good morning to everybody. Thank you for joining us. If this is your first time being here, we do this about every morning. We do this every morning about 7:15 Central Time. If you're foreign, I don't know what that is on your time frame, but thank you for joining us. All I ever ask is to simply share it and like and subscribe if you like what we're doing here. But we're trying to hopefully build this up. For you guys that have been around, you already know we'll be doing our live stream from 7:15 till about 8 o'clock. And then we typically switch over to our Discord voice call from about 8:15 to 8:30, 8:45. Sometimes we stay on there. We stay on there even longer than that, sometimes all day. So you're more than welcome to join us there if you have the time. Thank you for taking the time out of your day for joining us this morning. With that being said, I want to look at the U.S. 10-year. I see. We'll look at Powell first because I saw Jeff was talking about that. Let's have a gander. Powell's been doing some good things. I think it's about to acquire gunbrokers.com, which, as Jeff calls it, is the redneck Amazon for guns. It's currently sitting at 768. Is that where it closed yesterday? Let's have a look. No, it is not where it closed. It did gap up. Since closed around 7:30. It gapped up about 38 cents. Jeff's been a big advocate for it, and I don't blame him, especially with this administration in our office and the whole conversation on gun violence and what to do about it and whatever methods they're trying to impose now. So you will see an increase in cost, and manufacturers typically see ourselves, but I think this particular company saw about 27 million. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff, in the chat if you would. In their last report, and they're only about $654 million company, so 27 million is pretty nice. I can get that exact number here in a second. Girl, what are you doing? You want my mouse pad? You can have my mouse pad. There you go. Let's have a look. Of course, freaking TDA is doing this thing again where I cannot change my symbols anywhere. And it's only on this computer. I have a iMac over here, and then I'm using my main iMac for this live stream. And it will not switch. Guys, this to, let's see if I can tab or something. I don't know. Can't even look now. But anyways, holding 1,400 shares on PAL. Where's your price average on it? That's the big question. Looks like, I'm just going through the chat right now. Looks like no red, but Russell might take a hit. Russell needs to take a dump anyways, just so I can get out of my put. Seems like CPI is priced in. That's why I wanted to look at the US 10-year. See what it's doing. We've been trading in this channel for some time now. As you can see, we can go back here all the way till the beginning of, or middle of March. So when we started trading between these 162s and these 177s. Yeah, that funny? That funny? But so it's kind of idled out. I know the Fed's been focused on 2 to 2.5%, holding it at those levels. But as the economy opens, you're gonna see these a lot higher. One thing I would like to pay attention to, 597, nice. So you're up about 140 or something like that. or even more than that now, 160 or something per share. Something to pay attention to. Before the pandemic, we were actually trading in the 2 to 3% levels easily. And this was leading up until the pandemic right here is what you're looking at on this side. But going back, I think we were idling around this and above. So, this could pick back up just as hard as it came down, um, and go back to the 328s pretty easily. But the Fed has pretty much guaranteed they're going to try to keep it between 2 and 2.5%. 2.5% is the actual number, but they're saying they're going to do their best to keep it below 2%. So definitely something to watch. DXY, I've been watching. It ran into a key support level just the other yesterday morning. Excuse me, around the 91.99, and I was looking for it to break down below that. And if it did, then we would continue moving further down to this other level of support around the 88.43s. If we do that, then that'll allow for stocks to typically the theory is dollar goes down, stocks go up. So we haven't seen these levels since March of 2018. This wasn't even this is not COVID. COVID is right there, or peaked out. And a lot of concern, or a lot of the pullbacks that we saw in the markets were because the dollar was picking up, and because J&J has been pulled from what? But because the dollar was rising, and so the markets were pulling back slightly, not much, but they were seeing a lot of volatility based on that. And of course, we were talking about printing out more money for this infrastructure plan, so you can almost expect the dollar to be pulled back some more, but maybe that's already priced in too. Last time we saw the EMAs in this situation, we actually picked back up, and that's when we started slowly grinding higher to, the 99.40s and stuff like that. It's about where we topped out until COVID happened. But again, in 2017, we saw the same thing where the dollar was actually above the 100 level. So definitely something to keep in mind and watch for in buying your stocks that you're expecting to hold, day trade. If you're swing trading right now, I can almost be sure that you're seeing your stocks go down. Hey. Oh wow, what happened? I gotta look into that. Because that was supposed to be big. Oh, of course, my TOS messing up over here. Let me open it right here. I got a few more minutes with you guys. I'm not sure if everybody is on the Discord. I just saw what time it was. I'm going to share the Discord in the chat. Feel free to join us. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything to do so. And like I said, we will move over to our voice chat from there about 8:15. I just realized what time it was. Got to get the little one to school here in a second. So, Discord's in the chat. You can also hit me up on Facebook. We have a Facebook free chat there as well. We've been more on our Discord chat than anything because we can segment our conversations and share information separately from the rest of the general conversation and stuff. That way you can get to information easily. But feel free to join us anyways. We have groups on Facebook as well that a lot of the information I share on my Discord or anything that I announce through the community is also sent to my Facebook groups and on my Discord as well. So I put that in the chat. Feel free to jump on there with us. I just realized what time it was. If there's anything else you want to talk about, feel free to start the conversation in the general chat on the Discord. If you have any questions, if you have any trades you want to review, I can do some review videos on you and let you know on it and let you know what I think about them. As far as a TA analysis or a tech analysis and a fundamental analysis and what to expect short term, long term. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. I'm going to go ahead and hop over here so I can go ahead and get my daughter to school and get ready for the day myself. I want to thank you all for joining us this morning. I'm not sure if it's the original crew or not, or if there's anybody new here. I want to thank you for being here. If you are new, welcome to the party. We do this every morning about 7:15 Central Time. Sometimes a little bit later, depending on my morning schedule. But I definitely want to invite you guys to join us again.